this a supercar though? Like, would you call this a supercar? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a 2018 Nissan GTR. Today we're gonna take it out for a drive and just see how well it's aged over the past decade or so, and see how it holds up against today's exotics. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. If you'd like to see all my future supercar content, including plenty of car reviews to come. The GTR has had quite the legacy over the years. It was unveiled all the way back in 2007 and entered the American European markets in 2009. A very dominant car over the years as well, I will say, putting many supercars to shame. However, we are approaching the end of the R35 era. This specific GTR is tuned, has an exhaust, basically full bolt-ons, making about 680 horsepower, finished in blaze metallic orange. Phenomenal color, of course. I've always really liked the look of the R35. Really, the whole back end I think looks fantastic. Massive exhaust pipes. If you want to come a little closer here, you can actually fist the exhausts. So that alone is worth the $130,000. So that is an excellent piece of consumer advice. With that said, let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. All right. You think that was good or not? Jesus Christ. God, it's so loud, dude. That's like 3,500 RPM. Anyways, we are working with a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. So the stock GTR has 565 horsepower. This one has a tune on it, so it's making about 680 horsepower. You know, nothing crazy. I mean, that's a lot of power, but it's not. GTRs are capable of 1,200 plus horsepower easily. Like, it's pretty insane. So 0 to 60 about. I can't even talk. It's too loud. Good. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds dead. Although with the tune, it might be like 2.8, but it moves. Top speed 196 miles an hour. Still working with a 6-speed dual clutch transmission. Gear changes have a very mechanical type of feel to them. These are aftermarket paddles. They're like 3D printed. Not really a big fan. I think they look cool, but they're not the nicest to touch. But these are not the factory paddles. So this is a 2018 Nissan GTR. So there have been quite a few upgrades. Starting in 17, they improved the transmission, the suspension, added a comfort setting, which was much needed because GTRs have always been pretty stiff. One of the biggest upgrades was the interior. Much better materials. Seats are better, it's more sound deadening in here, everything, it's a little bit quieter inside. It just feels much more premium than before, which, you know, it really needed an update because it basically had the same interior for 10 years. A lot happens in 10 years. You have a new steering wheel as well for the newer GTRs. Oddly, satisfyingly soft.
So soft.
Like
a pillow.
Door panels, like that's very, I want to say it's like an inch deep of like leather.
Only
like,
the door panels though.
Yeah.
Nothing else is that soft.
It's like, I don't know why, I always noticed that on the newer GTRs, it was so plush.
I could take a nap on it.
Of course, the 2017s and up, you do get newer, improved styling, a facelift. I think it's a much more handsome car overall. Let's put everything in R mode. We do have different settings here. Suspension. It does have a custom exhaust system. Between 4 and 5, it's almost like ear-piercingly, like uncomfortably too loud. How's it from the outside? One thing I noticed though is that under hard acceleration, the gear shifts are actually very smooth. Typically it's the opposite. You're kind of easing the throttle and you change gear, it's a pretty smooth shift, and then vice versa, it gives you a nice kick in the back. It's not like that, this car. You get on it and it's very smooth. Transmission is quick. I wouldn't say it's, of course, as refined or as impressive as the PDK transmission or Ferrari's transmission, because it just isn't. But this is not a Ferrari. It's a $130,000 car. The grip on this thing is crazy. Now, this thing is about 4,000 pounds, and it does feel quite big. Like, it feels long, but I don't know if it feels that heavy as much. It just feels like physically it's big, but in terms of like when you're in the corners, it really shrinks the weight.
Yeah, like not once have I thought about how big this car is. That you've been driving it.
Yeah, like
how big it is has not crossed my mind.
yeah, like it is physically a big car. The GTR is all about grip, just that mechanical grip. You can just insane cornering speeds. It is like mind-bendingly quick.
Like nimble.
Yeah, it really shrinks the weight. It doesn't feel 4,000 pounds. Revs to 7,000 RPM. Just snaps into a corner. Nothing really turns in the way a GTR turns in. All right, we're going around this bend at 60. And it is absolutely on rails.
It just
dude.
stands.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not moving. Yeah.
It's so easy to go fast in this car. One complaint about GTRs that people over the years would kind of give it was that it was too robotic in a sense. And I do know what they mean. I mean, it is video game-esque type of handling, like GTA 5 Need for Speed type of handling.
What does that mean?
Like, it just doesn't make any sense. You have all-wheel drive as well, so you're kind of comfortable doing that.
That's a quick car.
Mildly. Ooh. These seats are perfect for someone of my size. They hug me perfectly. And I don't know, I've never felt more snug in a seat before. When the GTR first came out, it had monstrous amounts of potential. It was destroying much more expensive supercars around the Nürburgring. You know, over the past 7 or 8 years, we'll say supercars have really, I'd say, surpassed this in terms of outright performance.
Yeah.
But that is not to say this car is slow.
Not by a mile.
Because it is monumentally quick. You can talk stock for stock, but really most GTR owners, their cars are not stock. This is one of the most reliable supercars you could buy. Is this a supercar though? Like, would you call this a supercar?
Yes. Damn.
I think this is more of a supercar than like a Corvette because
100%, without question.
these have actually been compared to other exotics for like car reviews. Like these were compared and tested against like the McLaren 570, the 911 Turbo S.
Yeah, dude.
This is in the discussion. I do think styling-wise, the GTR looks very nice, especially like at nighttime. If you're following a GTR and you see it from the back, it really does look mean and intimidating. I do like that GTRs kind of give you like this, it makes a lot of like mechanical noises when you're driving. It kind of reminds me of like a Porsche GT3. It is ear-piercingly loud though. I don't know if it's a good loud. You know, these cars don't sound amazing stock. They're really quiet stock. They kind of just sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I think it sounds good.
So I think an exhaust is needed. It's not like exquisite like a Ferrari, you know, or deep like a McLaren as it is a V6. But do you have 4 seats? Sort of. You can see out of it really well. It really is a true daily driver. You got a nice sized trunk. I don't know. For $120,000, I mean, I think they're a lot of car for the money. They're reliable. You've got some really cool boost gauges on the screen here. It's got, now the newer ones have a comfort setting, which as I stated earlier, really comes in handy on long journeys. And it just feels much more premium than it used to, really. The GTR, the R35 is coming to an end now, and it is kind of bittersweet because we've seen it for so long. When this car came out, the Ferrari F430 was the new hottest Ferrari. You know what I mean?
Seriously?
Yeah, the 458 hadn't even come out yet. Now we're at the F8, and it's just, this car has seen a lot of competition over the years, and over those years, it's sort of slowly seen that competition just progressively get better and better and just surpass it more and more and more. And it's kind of just stayed in place for the most part. You do have like the Nismo version of the GTR, and this newer version has a bit more power, but overall it doesn't really can't really compete with some of the other exotics now. But that does not mean that you ever underestimate a GTR, because they're still one of the most common cars on the drag strip, at car events, car shows in general. I mean, GTRs are very popular, and there's a reason for that. And there are some hardcore GTR fanboys out there, and there are some hardcore GTR haters out there. It's still a fantastic car for $120,000. I mean, those cars are double or
and
more.
You can do, I mean, if you get it for 120K and put 30 grand into it, then it's not even the same zip code as those cars.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.